Finale here on Outside Shots, looking ahead to Thursday night, Gonzaga at San Francisco. Great mid-major matchup, just like the last one that we discussed. Haslam makes it around Gonzaga -2. I have it around that number as well. Gonzaga winning the first matchup between these two teams at the Kennel by 5, up double digits with just over 2 minutes left. So maybe a little bit of a fluky final score if you look at a 5-point margin versus what the game was at over the last couple of minutes before reserves came in. But what do you guys over at Shot Quality make this game?
We got this one as a dead even heat, slight 0.2 point edge for Gonzaga, total projected at 149.5. Man, what a battle. Yeah, so Gonzaga won this by 5 at home, expected to win it by 9. So now, depending what the line is, I do lean a little bit towards Gonzaga. I think they still have the shot making that you want from a team to get it done in tough scenarios. Don't allow opponents to get to the free throw line. Don't let opponents take the most valuable shots. Keep good care of the ball, top 25 type level of turnover percent on offense. The spacing, a little bit lackluster this season, maybe not what you used to see in past years from this Gonzaga product. The defense maybe missing a little bit of that oomph, but still super efficient attack in the rim, getting offensive rebounds. They maybe need to go away from the post-up game a little bit. Their frequency of post-ups is 4th highest in the nation. They're really good at it, but of course, that style of shot, being a top 20 team in the nation in terms of your post-up expectancy, still only generates 0.9 points per possession. They can just go to the catch and shoot and increase their efficiency by 10%. So they should probably just continue to shoot more. I'm obviously always going to say take a lot of threes or get to the rim, but they clearly can do it in the post. So that can be a very good clutch time shot. This is going to be a close game. I lean Gonzaga, probably take the money line. And, maybe if you think this is where they start their run, this is a good time as ever to get in on them, because if they do get an away win against a tough conference opponent, someone that is giving them a little bit of a run here for the conference itself, I think the price probably goes down if they get a good win on the road here against San Fran.
Yeah, and looking at some of the numbers from the last matchup, looking at USF's rim defense and post-up defense overall, they both rank in the 79th percentile across college basketball, or better, at least in the 79th percentile when it comes to their rim defense and post-up defense. But in the last matchup, Watson and Graham Ike, you mentioned Gonzaga's post defense, or post offense, I should say. Ike did that at Wyoming, and now we're seeing it again with Gonzaga, especially when you go back to that Kentucky matchup from a few weeks ago at Rupp. He dominated the Wildcats down low, but they were both super efficient in their last meeting against the Dons. So I'm kind of wondering what's going to give in this matchup. That's also why I give Gonzaga a slight edge per my projection. Now, USF is playing really good ball, nearly upsetting St. Mary's on the road. Last week they covered Jonathan Magbo, one of the best transfers in the country that nobody is talking about, kind of in line with Bacho averaging a double-double. I'm curious what San Francisco's pricing is going to be for the West Coast Conference tournament. St. Mary's not going to need to win that one to get in. Gonzaga probably, unless they go on a run to the title game, maybe lose a close one to the Gales, and then they get an at-large, maybe even the play-in game in Ohio. But I don't know, man. Dons could be interesting as another long shot.
Yep, they could. I think they definitely have the chops on offense. The defense needs maybe a little bit of support. But if you're looking for a ticket like, a Sweet 16, Elite 8 type run, I don't see them, Final Four would be spectacular. But, getting out of that first weekend, I don't see as totally impossible for this team. Shot quality has a lot of good things to say about them. Top 5 efficiency in both attacking the rim and transitions. So, again, it's really going to be about the defense. They do force a lot of turnovers. So, that's a big deal, right? Like shot quality, if we could give it its most pure name, would be possession quality. And so the more possessions you get, the more likely you are to win a basketball game. I don't know. There was a crazy example last night of like a team taking like way more shots and losing, but usually you get more shots, you win more games. So forcing turnovers, getting to the line, good defensive rebounding. Again, the real issue for them is they need to improve their defense around the rim. They are due to be doing a bit better in it, but it definitely has been a little too good for their opponents, which is probably going to handicap them in the tournament. And yeah, so I'm a little out on them. I need to see a good finish here. Of course, they do not have a cakewalk of the last two games. They play Gonzaga here at home, and then they're going to Santa Clara, which is not going to be an easy game whatsoever. So yeah, great team, 21-7, should be 18-10 per shot quality, but the defense is really what's going to hold them back here, I think, at the end of the season. So a little pump into the brakes, but yeah, to win the conference tournament, I dig it, especially maybe with St. Mary's looking ahead already.
Right. Gonzaga, like you said, if they win this game, price is going to be pretty steep, especially if they win at St. Mary's in one of the regular season finales, on top of the fact that those two teams likely to link up, at least per what the odds are going to be to win the West Coast Conference tournament in that specific market.